Hello, everybody. Welcome to baseball action, the final game of the regular season, as the new Trier Trevians take on the Stevenson Patriots. Non-conference game and kind of a tradition. They've been doing this, at least since 1997. Try to play one game each year. Two of the largest schools in the state of Illinois. And we're all set to get underway. Glad to have you on the network. Got a couple of pro scouts here again today. Jordan Sklomar leading it off. Sklomar. And the pitch, foul ball back. A wake-up call to start the ball game. Andy Picar on the mound. Alex Clarko behind the plate for the battery. And a pitch low, a ball, 1-1. One of the things about the last game of the year in regular season is it's kind of meaningless. And I have seen a lot of times that we've seen just about everybody get their last chance to play. Some of the players that don't normally get a chance to play, you get a chance to play in this game. Or particularly pitchers, chance to pitch in the game. Swing and a miss, or a foul ball rather, back. And strike three. One away. Benji Reese, the batter. And in there for a strike. My sneaking suspicion is that New Trier is not going to do that for this game, though. And a ground ball right back up the middle. That's a base hit. Combination of factors, but most notably they've been playing inconsistently, and I think the coach might be looking for consistency. Joey Little, batter. And strike on the outside corner. So heading into the playoffs, want to give the players an opportunity to try and find their bats a little bit. And a ground ball, shortstop, and throws to second, and whoops. And the error puts two aboard. And Ryan Tompowski, the batter. And that's fouled off to the right. And that's a windshield whacker. Here at New Trier, I think I've only had one game where I've been, that's been an away game this year. Swing it a bit straight. That's the way the coach wanted it. They look back. The delivery outside the ball. I take that back. There's been two. There have been two. the Friend game and both Evanston games, so the one at Evanston. But those were the only two. There's a high fly ball on the giddy up and a nice catch. Well, actually a catch by AJ, and then I think he got tripped up by Sam Zacks out there. But in any case, the out. And Reese tagged up at second, went to third. Owen Hausinger fouls one out. Beautiful sunshiny day, beautiful day for baseball. And a stolen base uncontested by Little. So runner two in scoring position with two out for the Patriots here in the top of the first inning. And outside a ball. Picard, the sign from Calarco, the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Outfield is kind of playing shallow a little bit. And a ground ball. Pick up by Mendez over to Florida at first for the out. And in the inning, no runs, one hit, one error, two left. Go to the bottom half of the first, no score between Stevenson and the new Trier Trevians. And Sam Zacks leads it off for the Trevs. And the first pitch, and that's fouled away for a strike. Lineup has been changed up a little bit. Brendan Stressler on deck. There's a strike. To be honest with you, I prefer hot days to the cold ones for baseball. I'd rather have temperatures in the 90s or even higher, close to 100 for a baseball game, and temperatures in the 40s for a baseball game. And a single for Sam Zacks. And I'm getting more like that. It's getting more the annoying end of baseball for me. And standing there in that cold weather with that wind off the lake, the hawk running straight into my face off the lake. There's a strike. I don't know, maybe it's just old age creeping in. Could be. Foul ball. As Stressler fouled one off, protecting the runner. And the throw to first. Runner back. If the Trevians win their first game, then both games of the regional would be hosted by New Trier. It depends what the three teams above them in the sectional do, whether or not they'll have any more home games. Pitch low and inside a ball. Trevians open up the playoffs against Lincoln Park here at New Trier. And foul tip held on for strike three. One away. And Alex Galargo, the batter. On that strikeout, Zach stole second. Foul ball. And a little outside the ball. I was talking to some of the New Trier players, and they were trying to figure out this ball, the stadium, the field itself. It's called Ron Klein Diamond. And they wanted to sort of to know who Ron Klein was, and I had to admit, I know I started baseball working for Ron Klein when I first started doing baseball. He was the baseball coach here at New Trier for, let's see, 30-something years. There goes Zach's foul ball. Not sure if that was a contact play or a stolen base, and Calarco swung to protect the runner. Could have been. I'd be more tempted to say that that was a contact play, but pitcher's high, a ball. Throw to second. Zach's back. And a high fly ball. Left fielder drifting over and takes her for the out. Zach will hold at second. Two away, and Ryan Casel, the batter. Bottom of the first inning. No score. There goes Zach's. There goes the throw, not in time. And second stolen base of the inning. Second stolen base for Sam Zachs. And a foul ball. And strike three. And that'll take care of the inning. In the bottom of the first. No runs, a hit, and a man left. We played through one. No score between Stevenson and Trier. And Michael Belbot leads it off. Or maybe the French pronunciation. I'm not sure. I don't usually check these things. Swing and a miss strike. Belbo. We'll stay with the Belbot. Foul ball. And a pitch high ball. And a high pop-up. Foul down the line and in foul territory taken by Stressler for the out. What a white. Chris Iannuzzi. And Iannuzzi with a pop-up. And it's actually going to be Ryan Cashel that takes it for the out. 2 down. And Colin Schmidtke, the batter. And Schmidtke fouls one off. Windshield whacker back behind us. Into the parking lot. Or maybe he got a car on Willow Road going by. Outside a ball. In a high pop-up. And again, it is Casel that takes it for the out. And 3 up and 3 down for the Stevenson Patriots in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Charlie Brodell letting it off for the Trevians in the bottom half of the frame. And a wake-up call back towards us. The lock and load. Strike on the outside corner. Strike 2. Set to the outside. And the pitch actually came in up on the fist and fouled away. Again, set to the outside. And again, it came in a little fister. First baseman. Pitcher had a little trouble with it, with his footing, but got there in time for the out. Louis Florida, the batter. And also got fisted. This time he got a base hit over the first baseman. Right down that right field line. Single. Alex Mendez, the batter. And a pitch outside for a ball. They're obviously expecting a bunt here. The third baseman's playing on the edge of the infield grass. You can see how close he is. I always think back to that 2007 team with the size that they had. Imagine you have a guy about 6'5" and 220. have three of them and one behind you, and you're being played like that, just the size of those guys in front of you. Strike. And they weren't slouch fielders, any of them. Well, I'll take that back. There was one there that was kind of an iffy fielder. But the size alone intimidated you. Outside the ball. To Alex Mendez. And a squibber foul. To the modern players, to these players, to you guys, imagine, if you will, guys approximately the same size as Alex Calarco. Is basically your whole infield. Not quite. The second baseman and the shortstop at various times wasn't that size, but high fly ball taken by the center fielder for the out. 2 down. Strike on the outside corner. And low and inside a ball. And swing and a miss, strike. There was something wrong with the pitch. Coach, the catcher had to go out and throw it a second, runner back. Or maybe that's what they were talking about, giving that runner a little closer out at second. Now the delivery, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that takes care of the second. At the end of 2, we still have no score between New Trier and Stevenson. And for our out-of-state viewers, and we do have a lot of them now, New Trier, the northeasternmost township in Cook County, right along Lake Michigan. There's a single by Trent Henderson to lead off the top of the third, back to the top of the batting order, and Jordan Sklomar, and he fouls one off. So the first runner back. Stevenson High School is basically central Lake County, the next county north of Cook. There's a bunt attempt that's going to work, and it's going to work all the way because no one covered first base. So runners at first and second. And Benji Reese, the batter. Outside the ball. And a ground ball. Out at second. And the throw to first not in time. Fielder's choice. And runners at the corners. For Joey Little. Number 3 in the batting order for the Patriots. Runners with their lead. Go to bunt. Fouled it off. Well, there's sending a lot of them back towards us here. And line shot. That's a base hit. That'll score a run. And on the play over to third goes Reese as Henderson comes home to score. And Ryan Tempowski fouls one off on a bunt attempt. And again with the bunt. And Casel over. The sacrifice works, moving the runner and brings home another run, and it's 2-0. And Owen Hausinger, the batter. And outside the ball, throw to second, and a whoopsie. And they're going to score that as a stolen base. I suppose you could score that as an error, but. And a fly ball, that's going to be a gapper out there in right center. To the warning track, into second. Trots Hausinger, and he changes places with Joey Little, and another run home, and it's 3-0 Stevenson. And Michael Belbot, the batter, swinging a bit straight. And it's a little ground ball. Mendez over to Florida in time for the out. And we're done with the top of the third. 3-0. Now favors Stevenson. A.J. Steinbach leading it off for the Trevs here in the inning. And he fouls one on. Falls away. And AJ hit by the pitch. He's been a baseball magnet. He's been hit a number of times in this year. Somehow he manages to get on base. Here's Sam Zacks. He singles last time up, stole 2 bases. Got stranded at third. Pitcher outside of ball. They look over. And the delivery, and there's a sacrifice going to work. Little bunt. Move the runner along. So Steinbeck at second with 1 out, and Brendan Stressler the batting. And straight. Did they pull a shift on him? Yeah, it looks like they did. They got a big-time shift. They got the shortstop out there behind second. High pop-up, foul, and out of play. The third baseman playing at third, so basically giving up that shortstop position. Time called. Outfield's playing straight away, but and outside of ball. I wonder if they're going to pull that same thing on Calarco. Fouled away. I'm wondering if Stressler on that pitch might have been looking for something to send the opposite field. Could have been. Go to second. Runner back. And strike 3, drop third strike. And runner out. Yeah, they are going to stay with that positioning for Alex Calarco. And a pitch inside a ball. Stevenson has obviously not done their homework. They're just looking as a big, strong left-handed batter, so they're going to pull the ball. Perhaps thinking in terms of what their pitcher throws. And high and outside a ball. Steinbeck with the lead off. Second. 2 out. Calarco the batter. Bottom of the third. And strike on the outside corner. Taking All the way was Calarco. And did manage to get it to the opposite field on a little ground ball, third to first for the out. And we played to 3-0. Stevenson leading New Trier. Top of the fourth inning, and strike one. To Chris Iannuzzi. Iannuzzi takes a strike on the inside corner. Colin Schmidtke on deck. Trent Henderson in the hole. Bottom third of the batting order, the Stevenson Patriots. And a little ground ball turned out to be a comebacker. Over to first. One away. And Schmidtke fouls one off. And a strike. And right back up the middle. Base hit single. So, one out hit, and Trent Henderson with a fly ball. And a nice catch by A.J. Steinbeck. He'll throw to second on the first, or make it a shortstop. It was Alex Mendez, I believe, that with the throw, and it turned out to be a double play as the runner was thinking that thing was going to fall in so completely. He was completely fooled. And the double play. There's Ryan Casel. Great catch by A.J. Steinbeck. And from his knees, a nice throw, I believe, to Mendez. Low and outside of ball. Is straight. Just past the halfway point in the ball game. Patriots with the 3-0 lead. A little tapper ground ball. Pitcher had enough time to bobble a little bit and still get Casel. One away. Charlie Brodell, the batter. Swing and I think he got a little piece of that one. Foul ball. A rocket down the line, foul. And strike three. Quickly, 2 up, 2 down. Lewis Florida, the batter. He singled his last time up. And sends a high pop-up, shortstop. moving over to the actual shortstop position to take the out. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We play 2-4, and it's 3-0. Stevenson leading New Trier. Top of the batting order, due up here for the Patriots here in the fifth. And strike one to Jordan Sklomar. Benji Reese on deck, Joey Little in the hole. Low and outside the ball. Nice pitch dropped in. Andy Pekar on the mound has gone the distance for New Trier. Outside the ball. This year, the Baseball Elite 8 game for New Trier would be at Triton College, but it's a long way off. Fly ball, dead away center, and Zachs drifts back and takes it for the out, one away. Here's Benji Reese. He'd been on base the two previous times he's been at bat. Once via single and once via fielder's choice. Has scored one of the 3 runs that the Patriots have. There's a fly ball. And taken by Stressler in right field for the out. 2 down. Joey Little, the batter. In a line shot, that's a base hit. Through the 5-6 hole. Left side of the infield. Joey Little, the batter. That was Little rather than singled. And Ryan Tompowski, the batter. And a strike. Foul ball. And we got ourselves a base hit single. And an errant throw, and that's going to allow the runner to come out. And it is 4-0. So Tompowski credit with the single. And now Tompowski tries to steal and gets thrown out by Alex Calarco, with Alex Mendez putting the tag on. We go to the bottom half of the fifth, and Alex Mendez will lead it off. Bottom third of the batting order for the Trevians. Mendez, Graham Mestros, and A.J. Steinbeck. Kind of a snappy ball game here. A little comebacker over the first. It's kind of what happens, too, in the last game of the regular season. Everybody wants to play the game, but everybody also wants to do it quickly and go home. And Mastros with a fly ball to right field for the out. 2 up, 2 down. And A.J. Steinbeck, the batter. And a strike at the letters on the inside corner. And second time in the ball game. A.J. Steinbeck hit by the pitch. I don't know. Maybe it's just me on my broadcast. I got to go back and look how many times A.J.'s been hit by a pitch. On my broadcast, I had base hit single for Zach's, his second hit of the ball game. And A.J. to third. So runners at the corners. And Brendan Stressler, the batter. Still pulling something of a shift, but not quite as pronounced as it was the last time Stressler was at bat. Swing and a miss. Strike. Yeah, foul ball. Runners with the lead at the corners. And scooped in a pop-up foul. And taken to foul territory by the third baseman for the out in the inning. And we played through 5. It's 4-0. Stevenson leading New Trier. Top of the 6th inning. Owen Hausinger leading it on. And strike one. Going outside a ball. Yeah, strike two. .55-footer for a ball. And kind of a comebacker back towards us. Line shot. Nice pickup by the third baseman. Throw it at first in time. 1 up, 1 down. Mastros to Florida for the out. Michael Belbot, the batter. And it's got one to left field through the hole. Single for Belbot. And Chris Iannuzzi, the batter. And a little ground ball. Shortstop, whoopsie. Whoopsie all the way around. And safe on the error. A tough chance on the ground ball, but he would have had him had he had a clean pickup. Think that might have been a case of wanting to do something with the ball before he actually had it. You do that, you're going to make an error. So 2 on, 1 out. Colin Schmidtke, the batter. Throw to second, runner back. Bottom half of the sixth, Calarco, Casel, and Brodell due up for the Trevians. To our internet viewers, there's a strike. I did want to let you know that our games are delayed more during the playoffs at the request of the coach and the high school. On the internet, that's the cable affiliates will still get the games in their regular time slot, as it were. And a high pop-up on the infield. And it's Mendez that ends up calling for it and taking it for the out. Nearly sunblown into a hit. And a ball gets away, and runners advance up. Calarco thought it hit him, but it actually, I think, hit the dirt between his feet and bounded away. Even if it hit the dirt first and then hit him, it's still a live ball. Ball. Two out. Trent Henderson, the batter. I think. And a ground ball. Foul. And strike three. And we go to the bottom half of the sixth. It's 4-0 Stevenson. Trevians having their troubles hitting today. Three-hitter going on here. Calarco. Pitch outside of ball. That's sort of been the case with the Trevians all season long. And a ball. And a pitch high ball. And ball four. So Calarco, leadoff walk here in the bottom of the sixth, and Ryan Casel, the batter. Courtesy runner for the catcher, James Carabas. High and outside a ball. So Casel bats. Yeah, straight. In the old days, when it was an eight games to the championship, you needed a lot more than two solid starting pitchers. You really needed at least three. And now, yeah, you could really do it with two. You could really do it with 2. Until you got down to the stadium that week of the Elite 8 and the Final 4. Then you would need 3. And strike 2. And foul ball. Windshield whacker. And strike 3. 1 away. Charlie Brodell, the batter. And a strike. And Brodell's got himself a single to right. And Brodell and Carabas on as the runners. Keep Carabas close at second. Here's Lewis, Florida. And the ball gets away. On the pass ball, both runners advance. So 2 in scoring position. 1 out. Swing and a miss. Strike. And the ball gets away again. And trotting home is Carabas. And the Trevians on the board. Ground ball. Foul. Just outside of first. And one the other way. Scooped it and fouled away. And strike 3. And here's Alex Mendez. Alex with a high bounder. Back, tough chance, and nope. They score that as a hit on the high bounding ground ball. Tarek Jah, the courtesy, the pinch runner. We got to say that in the right phraseology here. Graham Mastros, the batter. And strike. And it's 4-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. And a ball 1. Swing and a miss, straight. And strike 3. In the inning, 2 runs on 2 hits. There was a walk. 1 left. We go. As we go to the 7th inning, Jordan Sklomar letting it up. New pitcher on the mound, new battery. Jimmy Ertman pitching. Leo Miller behind the plate, pitch outside of ball. Swing and a miss. Straight. Sklomar Reese and Joey Little do up top of the batting order for the Patriots. They're leading at 4-2 here in the top of the seventh. Foul ball. Steinbeck, Zacks, and Brendan Stressler do up in the bottom half of the frame. And a pitch. High and outside, I believe that was. I was looking at something else here. High fly ball. Steinbeck drifts over a little bit, takes it for the out. One up, one down. And Benji Reese, the batter. And it's a ball high and inside a little bit. And a base hit up over Casel. Single to right. And Joey Little, the batter. And first pitch hitting, a fly ball to the gap. On left center, nice try by Zacks. He's not going to get it. He's going to bring home a run. Little around third on his way home. Here comes the throw. They got him. So attempt at a inside the park homer didn't quite work. But a run did come home. Here's Ryan Tompowski. Been a while since I've seen an inside the park homer. Pitch a low ball. Good job by Mastros on the throw from the outfield. Throwing it home and on the money. Line shot back up the middle, base hit single. And Ertman fortunately got away with a big-time mental error. And sticking that pitching hand out to try and catch that one. Daniel Cabrelis, courtesy runner over there at first. Owen Hausinger, the batter. And in there for a strike. And ground ball. Cashel will take the lead runner on the fielder's choice for the out. We go to the bottom half of the frame. A.J. Steinbeck will lead it off. Takes a pitch high ball. A.J.'s been on base twice. No official at bats, but hit by pitch both times in his two previous plate appearances. That's a ball. And high and outside a ball. And straight. And bounces in, ball 4. So the leadoff batter, Steinbeck, walks. Sam Zacks, the batter. The pitch on the way. That pitch is high, a ball. Again, the look over. And the pitch inside, a ball. Baseball action here on the network. We'll be here all during the summer as well. Dual baseball, ball 4. And the first 2 batters aboard via free gifts. Brendan Stressler. Hunt now on the mound pitching for the Patriots here in the bottom of the 7th. Stressler batting. Yeah, that one's high, a ball. Final game of the regular season. On to the playoffs. Trevians will start off against Lincoln Park. The new Trier Trevians will host the game here. Lincoln Park's home field is Oz Park. They're not too far from the Fullerton or the Armitage stops on the L. Ball 4, and the bases have been walk loaded. And Alex Calarco, the batter, and again they pull that Ted Williams massive shift on for the big catcher for the Trevians. Outside a ball. Yeah, pitch high a ball to Calarco. And fouled away. Another one fouled back. Into the wind, the pitch. And fouled off. And hung in outside the ball. Trying to walk in a run. They lock and load. Swinging a foul ball. Long and foul. Out of here, but foul. That one might have even landed over there and Hibbert and Willow. I mean, it was that far gone, but foul. Joking. Another one fouled off. Alex hanging in there. No place to put him. Bases loaded via gifts here. Now they pitch. And ball 4, and it gets away, but it doesn't matter. Run scores anyway. And it's 5-3 now. And Ryan Casel, the batter, new pitcher. And so a little ground ball, shortstop, picks it up and throws it away. And 2 runs come home, and this ball game is all tied up at 5. Carabas running for Calarco on at second. Casel at first. Line shot. That's a base hit, and a Trevians going to come up with a walk-off winner. Carabas home to score, and Brodell gets mud. Walk-off hit, and the Trevians are victorious. 6-5 for the new Trier Trevians. 6 runs on 6 hits, 3 errors. Never struck out 8 times, walked 5, 6 left on base, and 2 stolen bases. For the Stevenson Patriots, 5 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. They were struck out 2 times. They were not walked by Trevian pitchers. 6 left on base for the Patriots and 2 stolen bases. So the Trevians move on to the playoffs and play Lincoln Park. Regular season, they finish up with a record of 21-12. And for all of us here at the network, hope you enjoyed this broadcast, and we say as always, so long, everybody. This has been a Metro Chicago Sports Network copyrighted presentation. All rights reserved.